The Warriors in Portland need to win all these last 3 games, and we had no Klay and Draymond tonight as they were arrested for yesterday for tomorrow's biggest game of the season against the Pelicans to keep obviously our hopes of not having to play both playing games alive. And it was Steph, Chris Paul, Wiggins, Kuminga, Trey starting against these Blazers that have had a weird and injury-riddled season, but Scoot Henderson has been turning it up. DeAndre Ayton has been playing better, and Chauncey Billups always gets up for us, it feels like. Gets these guys to play for us, and I mean, they're playing spoiler, they had nothing to lose. They can be playing freely while we have to win. And it was an ugly game as expected, man. Without Klay, there was not enough appropriate spacing, and just the fact how the season went, as much as I would have loved to see this game be a blowout, you knew from the start this would be a tough-ass game, unfortunately. Even though we all hoped for an easy win and arrested Steph Curry in the fourth quarter, but he had to play 36 minutes tonight. And a lot of it had to do with the turnovers. What did we have? It was 16 turnovers, which is just nasty. Thankfully, Scoot Henderson had 9 of his own, and that kept us in it in a way. But I mean, we had pretty much no points of turnovers, I'm pretty sure. At least not until late, not until the end of the fourth quarter. And, Steph looked off from the start, from the get-go. He did try to push through, I don't know if it's discomfort, whatever it is. He did not look like he had it in him, but he tried to push through it. And that was thankfully enough. But you knew it would be a long night when he missed a wide open 3-pointer in the quarter. Then you had Wiggins with the wrong energy tonight. He was also really, I don't know, just he did not have the appropriate physicality and energy tonight, at least to me. And, him and Kuminga had some really rough turnovers, especially Kuminga early on, and he had some troubles ball stopping. But, I mean, he's obviously still a little rusty, coming back from that injury. And I'm happy that Steve, saw that he was at least trying his best. He had the right energy, and that's why he finished the game over Wiggins tonight, because Wiggins did not have the energy that Kuminga had, and thankfully he made the right choice with going with Kuminga late in this game. And, I would also say Kuminga gets kind of unlucky on a lot of the whistles, man. Like when he drives, it feels like, he's so physical and so imposing. And, when he's fouled, he tries to make sure the refs hear it, that they don't want to call it. I don't know, man. It's been weird with a lot of his drives. I feel like he could be getting way more foul calls on drives, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't know, man. And you had Ayton out there looking like, I don't know, man. He shot like fucking. It felt like to me he shot 50 mid-range jumpers in this game, and he took 24 shots overall. Was really annoying, but thankfully didn't overpower us on the offensive glass. And a lot of it has to do with Kuminga and Wiggins not having the appropriate energy, even though Kuminga did have 6 rebounds at least, but Wiggins just 5 rebounds. That's just not gonna cut it simply, right? But thankfully Looney was there to save us. Looney was there to save us, really. And there was some, battle energy, or however you want to call it, between him and Duopriv when they were both in the same game, in the game at the same time. And Jabari Walker and Kuminga had some, personal energy against each other. They were very physical with one another, and it looked personal between those two. It looked really personal between those two. They were always pushing each other and physical with each other. I don't know if there's, if that's just how Jabari Walker plays. I've not watched that much Blazers since the beginning of the season, really. But what I do know is that, Kuminga obviously didn't like it, and he tried to retaliate against it. And yeah, it was intriguing. It was intriguing to see this energy tonight in there. For the Blazers also with its quote-unquote meaningless game. But yeah, they can play spoiler, obviously. But thankfully, Looney had the best night of his season. Had 9, 11, 2, 4 tonight. 2 steals, 4 blocks, that is. And was just really good tonight. Finished the game plus 19 on the night, and it matches the eye test, especially in that fourth quarter. I felt like earlier he was a little weird, but tonight was one of the best nights of Lunis season, thankfully, and we needed it. We needed all of it. We just needed all of it, even though Trace was playing really well. Also, I felt like Looney had the physicality we needed tonight, and that was what put us over the edge, right? He made some huge plays down the stretch. That one steal he had was probably the play of the night, so that was wonderful. Then you also had Steph, Chris Paul, and Podziemski in there, which was an intriguing small lineup against this Blazers team, but they were also just not shooting well besides Ayton. Scoot started off hot with some tough jumpers, but I mean, that's not his game. And thankfully, no one else really showed up for the Blazers shooting wise. And we obviously did play some really good defense also. But I mean, they took 20 more shots than us, which is crazy. It's just really crazy. And thankfully, Steph Curry continues to be the fourth quarter clutch merchant he is, because he was really good in that fourth quarter, made some really tough plays, good buckets. It was 3 of 5, 2 of 3 from the 3-point line, 8, 2 and 3. Really good fourth quarter from Steph, which we obviously once again really needed. And it was ugly, but we got it done in that fourth quarter with that run created by Looney, Steph, Kuminga, Podziemski, and Chris Paul. And we are going home, and tonight we play the goddamn Pelicans. And here's the situation. We're tied with the Kings and the Lakers in the standings. If we beat the Pelicans tomorrow, we are in the 8th spot and we need to beat the Jazz, and the Kings need to lose against either Phoenix, which is tomorrow night, or against Portland, which is on Sunday. So what we need is to win out and need the Kings to lose one of those games. If we don't win out, it's gonna be really tough to not be the 10th seed, really, because the Lakers have... Okay, they have the Pelicans, so the Lakers could still lose one game. So that's a question, right? We could still be the 9th seed if the Pelicans beat the Lakers and beat us and secure that 6th seed with that. That is the possibility of that. But obviously, it's going to be really intriguing. But as long as we win out, we're not gonna be the 10th spot, and we're gonna host a playing game at least. But it would obviously be much better if we could win out and the Kings lose tomorrow to the Suns, which would mean we would be in the 8th spot, and we would have a chance to win the first game of the play-in and play the 2nd seed, which probably will be either Minnesota or Oklahoma. Denver just needs to beat San Antonio and Memphis, which feels like, yeah, that's probably gonna happen. I mean, of course, Wemby can go nuts, or I don't know, Jaren Jackson if he's still playing, or Desmond Bain, but feels like Denver's not gonna let the number 1 seed go now with the win against the Timberwolves. So we don't have it in our hands completely, but you expect the Suns to beat the Kings, who have not been playing well, and the Suns obviously are fighting to get out of the play-in still. They are playing, the Kings, who are on a back-to-back, so you expect the Suns to beat them, man. And the Blazers also played the Suns really tough at the end of the day. They play in the last day also, and the Blazers won one game and lost by single digits against the Kings in that game. But if they beat the Suns, you wouldn't expect the Kings to lose to the Blazers, obviously, in their most important game of the season, which would be. But they are on a back-to-back playing the Suns, who need that win as much as the Kings do. So we gotta root for the Suns or the Blazers and win out. That's the situation. Let's hope it happens. And if we could sneak into that 7-8 game and win that shit, it would go a long way. It would go a long way, obviously, but gonna be tough. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. As always, be kind to yourself and to others, and I'll catch you all tomorrow with the Pelicans game.